come on, there's applause and then there's taking the mick, all right? Anyway, that was pretty good, I have to say. Now, we haven't done with Chris Foy yet. I am Stanford Chidge, by the way, and this is the Chelsea Football Fancast, and I have made it my mission in life not to forget to do that at the beginning of every part this week. Anyway, yeah, we're not done with the whole Chris Foy thing, because I think there's a lot more to discuss on that. And I think the first thing is, I mean, obviously we didn't really get a chance to talk about Mourinho getting sent off, which to me sounded, I mean, it was just stupid. I mean, you know, because half the Villa coaching staff and the Chelsea coaching staff, I mean, you know, Lambert was on there too. So if Chris Foy sent him off for going on the field of play,
but did he? Did he send him off?
Well,
for
we
that?
don't know.
Something else we don't know yet.
Lambert was on the pitch as well. He's right next.
But he was up. They had their arms around each other.
You see Lambert right there.
One at a time, Darren. Anyway, what I'd like to really establish here is, clearly Willian's going to get a one-match ban.
Yeah.
Ramirez will probably get a three-match ban.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see if Mourinho will get a ban, particularly after he was very good in the Sky after-match press conference, and he's kind of let it all rip in the last day or two in the other media. So, number one, are we going to miss Ramirez and Willian going forward?
Yes.
You think so?
Definitely, yeah.
Well, who do you think is going to come in?
I think it depends on which Ramirez we get, because
Rubber man.
frequently we get the one who gives the ball away and doesn't seem to be concentrating, or we get the one who's playing much better than that.
Well, I thought that people were panicking unduly, really, because I was, who are we going to get to come in? And I said, well, Schürrle will come in for Willian, and he's pretty decent. And there's some young lad, he hasn't really played a lot. He's got a lot of potential, a guy called Frank Lampard.
Yeah, I know, but the point is that the way we're going to be playing against Arsenal is presumably the 4-3-3 we've played in most of the big games this year, and that really needs...
Yeah, but all we have to do against
dynamism.
Arsenal is bully them. Or just offer them latte and they'll get distracted. I mean, what's the problem? Paul, what do you reckon? You know more about football than we'll ever know.
Well,
Tell us.
Matic does well, don't get me wrong.
You like Matic?
I do like Matic. He's done great. I think he's McAnally. So, with Frank, he'll do a job anyway. But Josie will know who and who. For the
Jose will sort it. I'm not worried.
For the remaining games,
but do you think Jose might get banned because of what he's been saying in the press the last couple of days?
Get that one been banned, but I think it wouldn't make a difference.
Yeah,
much of a difference.
Benches. What do you lot reckon? I mean, are we going to miss Ramirez and are we going to miss Willian, and will Jose get a ban?
Yes, and yes.
Okay.
I'd say so.
Sensible people on the benches who have something to say. You can now join in.
Headbutt, that's the main thing.
Well, that's true. That's true. I fully expected Jose to have actually chinned Foy. I think lesser men than Mourinho might have done that.
Sherwood would have chinned him.
It does kind of bring it all into a farce, though, if he's getting a game ban for taking a step onto the pitch and someone's getting a 7-game ban for pushing his head in the direction.
Can't he appeal it, though, if he was given a ban with the FA, if you're a manager?
Well, I don't know, mate.
No.
I didn't make the rules for this show. Sorry, Darren?
I'm pretty sure he can appeal it. And like I was trying to say a minute ago, if you look at that picture again, Lambert's on the pitch as well. It's not just Mourinho that's on there.
No, that's fair enough.
After the benches are up there in arms about things, why is it only Mourinho?
Yeah, well, I mean, what else? I mean, what are they saying on Mixler? Are they disgruntled like I am?
We'll miss Willian more for his work rate off the board. That's what Chris Demzuk says. There seems to be things about Torres, not really very happy things about him.
Wait, patience, people. We're getting on to Torres, but not quite yet, because I just want to wrap this whole Foysonousness out.
He's obviously got an agenda.
Well, I think he probably
obviously has.
I mean, here's the other thing. Can we actually refuse to have him as our referee? I mean, it'd be nice to think we could, wouldn't it?
Not to my knowledge.
No, it's not possible.
I don't think we can't do that.
No.
Well, I mean, what are you going to do?
Do we know any Sicilians that we can just issue a contract out or something?
I expect they can be found by...
Well, it worked for Fist, didn't it?
Just a small kneecapping, you mean?
Just a small one,
Yeah.
Nothing too serious or damaging to your health permanently.
You can't do that because it would set a precedent, wouldn't it? You could just say, we don't. I don't mean the kneecapping, I meant the choosing of the ref. You can't say, we'll have him and him or we can't have him. That'll never happen.
It's a shame.
But
Southampton tried it with Clattenburg, didn't they?
They did. It didn't work. All right,
out.
enough of this, because we could spend the next hour and a half talking about nothing else but that idiot Chris Foy. And you know what? I'm not going to let him infest my weekend anymore. I'm going to let Ross Mooring do that because it's his ratings coming up.
So we should also talk about the assistants, who I also thought were
absolutely the offsides,
awful as well. Absolutely.
And
the
throw-in,
several throw-ins.
Here's a question for you. Did you think that was a handball for Matic or not?
I think there was a goal scored in one of the other games where exactly the same thing happened, and the referee just accepted it because he wasn't controlling it.
I think it was
Well, because it's all slowed down. It's all slowed down. You can see that it's his hand. But otherwise, he's...
But
the thing is, it's ball to hand or hand to ball.
The thing that bugs me most about that was the fact that actually Foy, first up he gave the goal.
Yeah, allowed the goal.
He did, that's right.
And it was the linesman who flagged.
Oh, but was it? How did he see it?
No, it was the linesman flagged. He was waving his flag like there was a road accident.
Right.
And the fact of the matter is, there's no way
he could have seen it.
See it
no,
because
impossible.
He would have, line of sight and all that. It was
Well, if Foy saw it and thought it wasn't handball, thought it was a proper goal,
then why didn't he give the goal?
Yeah.
I mean, the sane, rational, unemotional, non-Chelsea bias view that I have is that it was a 50-50. Sometimes they're given, sometimes they're not. So I can see why it wasn't given. What I didn't like was basically Foy's indecision, really. That's what really annoyed me. What do you reckon, Kenneth?
Don't get me wrong, it's intent, but I didn't think it should be disallowed.
You thought it should be a goal?
Yeah.
That'll be headline news in the Sun tomorrow.
The thing is
Paul Cannaville,
Comes
ex-Chelsea player, says
let
it
me
should have been a
know,
goal.
and I will tell you direct, but phone me first.
And if anybody disagrees with you, you have me to deal with. You know what I'm saying?
But it's considered good refereeing, changing his decision. It's not about giving the first decision. It's about consulting with the officials.
Two wrongs don't make a right.
But he'd already just made a dreadful offside decision, hadn't he, over the pass for Torres, which they'd have been one up in, possibly.
There were some just rank bad decisions, both by Foy and the linesman, and that is it. No more. I never want to speak about Chris Foy again for the rest of the season, and hopefully not next season either. What I do want to talk about now is dear old Ross. Ross has, of course, worked very hard, beavered away, trying to find at least 1 point to give every Chelsea player for their performance in the match against Villa. Let's have a look at what he came up with. Right, he has got Petr Cech, he got 6.
Can I do them this week?
Go on, and you read them out in whatever style you like this week. I hope you've been practising.
Petr Cech got 6. Ivanovic got 6. Cahill got 6.
This is
you sound like that bloke from With Nail and I. the bloke who invented the Camberwell carrot. And I'm not talking about vegetables, people.
Blast it. So a film reference that I can't relate to because it wasn't one of my favourite films.
Don't you medicine me.
Don't you medicine? Who was it? Who was it?
I can't remember the guy's name. Anyway, can you do it in a voice?
Yes, do it. I'm sorry.
You're a voiceover, yes, sort it out.
I'm an actor, darling. Yes. Thank you.
What's your motivation?
Cech got 6, Ivanovic got 6, Cahill 6, Terry 6, Piliqueta got 7, Willian got 6, Ramirez got 4, Oscar got 5, Matic got 6, Hazard 6, Torres 5, and Schürrle, and I can't see the other one. Bar got 6.
See it on that one.
Yes, yes.
Well, I mean, actually, I've got to share with you first of all. This made me laugh. Is that every week we absolutely coat Ross off. I mean, I know we do it on principle anyway because he's a mate, but every week we coat Ross off for being far too mean about the marks that he gives to the players on his player ratings. This week, I've had loads of emails and tweets saying, he's given them that much? How could he possibly give Torres more than 2, and stuff like this? So now they're all moaning at poor old Ross for being, not mean enough. I mean, he can't win, can he?
No, not at all.
He can't win. But apart from all of that, I mean, the bottom line is that, we only had 2 shots on target.
Yeah.
That's not good enough for me. I'll tell you another stat that I found that I thought was quite horrifying, and that's that we only managed to win 4 out of 24 tackles, whereas Villa won 21, and they kind of basically looked like they wanted it more.
But I think they looked like they wanted it more in the last 20 minutes.
Do you want it, sir?
And very good. Yeah, in the last 20 minutes, because up until then we'd had 70% possession.
Well, I was going to. To be fair, I was going to say that. I mean, I thought it was a slow start in the first half. We were a bit leggy, looked a bit sluggish. Yeah. But I thought actually Villa, to be fair, they were set up pretty well tactically. So they kind of, they're quick on the break. So we couldn't go flying forward. That's why Branner and Aspie weren't herring down the wing. We had to be careful because they can catch you on the break. But I thought they were very well organised, and they were stopping Hazard and Willian Oscars getting through. And the trouble was, whenever they did, they gave the ball to Torres, who invariably gave the ball away. Canners?
Don't get me wrong. Aston Villa had a rusty start at the start of the season. They're coming good, and that's what Paul Lem's been doing. But you said that the front line for us at the moment, we've been getting the opportunities, making the opportunities, but we can't be finishing. And that is our struggle at the moment.
I've got a theory about Torres. I've had theories about him, actually, for the last 3 years, but this one is broadcastable.
Which one of the 73?
No, but I've got a new theory. I want to test this by Paul. The way I saw it on Saturday, it looked like the likes of Willian and Oscar and Hazard, they don't look like they can trust him. You know, the way that they play, they're thinking, OK, if I give it to Torres, he's either going to try and make a shot that isn't going to work, or he's going to get tackled or lose the ball, he's going to run up a blind alley. And that's what stops the momentum. You can see they get so far and they're thinking, well, my striker's Torres. Oh, maybe not. I'll look for Hazard or whoever. I mean, what do you think about that, boys?
He doesn't read... I agree, certainly to an extent, that's what it looks like. But also
hang on a minute. Well, note the time and the day. It's 25 past 7, and it is March the 17th, and Pablo has agreed with me.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
I also think that a lot of it is because he's just not on the same wavelength.
He doesn't
There's
run.
a time in the first half where they've made some really good movement, and he laid the ball off, and there was this big old space for him to run into, and Oscar pulled out wide, and you just see him sort of jogging back there. He should be busting a gut to get into the box, because that's what the striker should do.
Canners, was there anybody when you were playing who you thought, we're not going to give the ball to?
No.
Because you didn't have any confidence in
Not even Big Doug Root?
No, don't get me wrong.
There's no point giving him the ball. He was there just to kick people.
When you do that, because it's like, if you're lacking confidence in your player and you don't really, by releasing that ball to him, that he's going to do something, and that's not good.
But do you think we might have a point, Canners? Do you think maybe they have lost confidence in him?
They could do.
Because I tell you what, they link up better with Eto'o, and I'm just wondering whether Eto'o should be our first choice.
Eto'o looks busy, doesn't he?
He rested him for Tuesday, though, didn't he? That was the reason he didn't play him.
Because Eto'o can't play every game because he's 93. You know, this is enough.
He could do 75 minutes.
He could do 75 minutes, mate. Yeah, I could do 75 minutes and contribute as much as Torres. But what I want to know is what the benches think. About anything, really. Do you know where the missing plane is?
Paul Crowder. It's all been Paul Crowder on.
I love
Mixer.
Paul Crowder.
He was, but he's doing his usual, Chidge. He's giving the opposite opinion to you.
Oh no, he's not allowed to do that.
He was saying it was a handball. Foy gave it straight away. He doesn't know what the confusion is.
No, he didn't.
What makes people think Foy gave the goal? He had a dreadful game, but he didn't mess that up.
No, well,
it was Torres. Torres threw 1-1. The keeper was hardly a goal scoring opportunity. That was all Paul Crowder. He was actually talking to himself for ages in here. Eto'o Adebowale doesn't think Torres was too bad. Had the linesman done his job, he'd have had more chances. Charlie Wright, did Chid just volunteer to go up front for us?
I've got a lot up front, that's all I'm saying.
Chelsea Blue TV against Villa. Torres passed to the Invisible Man 3 times. His first touch is a joke.
Tom, what does Tom think? Because
Tom, what do you think?
There you go.
What do I think? I mean, I'd like to know the age of Eto'o. I say we cut him open, see how many rings he's got.
Yeah.
If we don't do that, I mean, you, as a Chelsea fan now, you need two strikers, in my opinion, but it doesn't work with your whole lineup with Schürrle and Willian and Ramirez and Oscar. So you're stuffed a little bit, to say the least. Unless I think Torres needs that confidence with another striker to play off. That's my
I don't know.
opinion.
I mean, this is the trouble. We don't actually seem to ever play 4-4-2 or play two strikers up top. I tell you what, Jason Burt said something really, really interesting on the Sunday supplement yesterday. And he basically said that the trouble with Chelsea at the moment is we don't seem to have a clue how to take the initiative against sides, particularly the sides that will pack a defence against us. We do seem a bit clueless. And he says we're very, it's fine when we're playing against a really big side like City, where we can set ourselves up to negate their threats, but we just don't seem to be able to take the initiative against them. What do you think?
No, I don't agree with that.
You don't agree with that?
No, sorry.
Controversial, Paul.
I think we're just lacking a front man who's not got confidence and
It really is that simple.
Is the
It's
problem
just
we are having.
down to a proper striker, because who hits the
we'll
target.
We'll deal with any team at this point.
Yeah.
It's just lacking that finishing touch up front.
And we are too reliant on Hazard. I mean, this is where the problem comes from. If you have a striker like Torres, who they don't have confidence in, or Barr, who is a championship player at best, then it's harsh but fair. It does screw it up for the other midfielders. I mean, we are very reliant on Hazard, and it does worry me about that.
But if you had a better striker, if Hazard is being three players are paying attention to him, it's pretty easy for the space left for the striker to score. But they're not good enough.
He knows that precise ball they're playing.
Sorry, Kenneth.
You know the precise ball that Hazard always plays in, and it's just the front man. It's just the front players at this really.
I mean, how would you? Like, I'm going to really, hammer you on this. But I mean, how would you have felt? I mean, you're a winger, proper winger, not like we've got these days. But how would you have felt with a striker like Eto'o or Barr or Torres up front?
I'd want them to understand where I'm going to be playing that ball, and which they would. It's simple as that. But when they want to run, play the through ball, whether it's over the top, I'd know when they want to set on that run, towards goal.
Because we're
not seeing
that understanding.
No, we're not. Apart, we are with Hazard and Eto'o.
Run and holding. Like, what do you want to do? What am I going to do? And that's what I'm seeing.
But you do see, but there is. I sense that when Eto'o plays, Hazard's figured out where Eto'o wants to run. Those two, that certainly one of the goals, the penalty against Spurs last week. Yeah. Beautiful ball in by Hazard, knew exactly where Eto'o was going to be.
But we're seeing Eto'o now reading the game, and we're seeing a bit of speed from him, because when he comes out forward, he's not too quick on the speed of the game here in England, but now I'm just seeing him settling in.
He's got it. I like him.
Runs.
I tell you, mate, I like him.
Yeah, I'm liking him, but I said he'll give 75 minutes. And
he hasn't got the legs. Yeah, it's an interesting point. Now, talking about not having the legs, really we should have a think about whether we've actually got the legs to win the title still. I mean, it sounds like we've been moaning. Us moan? God, who knew? The bottom line is we're not moaning, really, because actually we're still at the top of the table. We're still 4 points clear of Arsenal and Liverpool. I mean, it's a bit of a bad weekend, really.
We've been written off, though.
Well, I don't care the media.
Each week you lose, you're written off. That's it. It's Liverpool and Arsenal.
But Jose does a bit of that too. But we know he's only doing a bit of kidology. But, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, has Foy cost us the title? I mean, it cost us 3 points, possibly. It's cost us a few players being banned. I mean, Jose is saying that it's now a match race and not a title race. And I think that that's actually a very interesting way of putting it. And actually, that's classic Jose, because he's saying, look, don't get wrapped up in all this media hype about, we're going to win the title, we're favourites and all of that. You just concentrate on the next match. If you win every match and you just focus on the next match, the title will look after itself. What do you reckon, Pablo?
Yeah, seems fair.
What do you reckon, benches? Is Jose talking sense? Am I talking sense?
So you're saying you win every match, the title looks after itself. It doesn't, though, because if Man City win every match, then they get the title. But they're not going to win every match, because Pellegrini hasn't won a league before. Wenger hasn't in 10 years. Rodgers hasn't won a league before. Mourinho is the only one that knows how to win.
But Wenger hasn't won anything for 8 years.
Yeah, you've got a lot of faith in Mourinho to actually know what to do to keep the players level-headed about things.
Darren, I think you've got a really good point there, my friend. And I said this on TalkSport on Saturday. Are we going to win the league? Well, I don't know, but we've got a good chance. Why? Well, because we've got the best manager, and Mourinho is phenomenal, and he will have the edge on Pellegrini, Wenger, and Rodgers. I think you've absolutely nailed it there, Dazza.
We will win the league. I've always said we'll win the league, and I don't think that losing to Villa, our 4th loss of the season, I don't think it's that bad at all. We know that we've got a couple of hard games. We've obviously got the Aston one, we've got the Liverpool one, but I can't see us not winning the league. I've said it all season. When we started by mid-September, people were a bit worried then at our team. Then we played really well. We had a couple of bad games, but I don't see us not winning the league. And I think we'll win it early. I think we'll win against Norwich. We won't win against Cardiff. It'll be before the end of the season. Just
a final one, actually. You can spread this out to Mixler and the benches if you want, and I'll do the same here. But I mean, in a funny sort of way, losing in that manner might actually do us some good in the run-in, because I really do see Jose doing a classic old us against them fortress mentality thing, boys. What do you think?
That's what he's wanted all season.
He has. I mean, he's done it in little bits, but this is like the real chance, isn't it?
When we lost to Stoke, it all seemed to turn round. He used it as an opportunity to focus the team.
I mean, the run that we've just had, I think we've gone something like 14 games unbeaten before we lost. Before we lost on Saturday. So if we're kind of doing runs of about 10 to 14 games before we get beaten, then we'll win the title if City, of course, screw it up.
Is it likely that all the other teams will win every single one of their games?
Of course not, because they've got to play each other. I mean, Liverpool, I think, are more likely to be kingmakers than title winners, because they've got City to play, haven't they?
They've got both us and City.
They've got us and City.
You think they won it yesterday after beating a very poor Man United
I avoided the TV all day yesterday. I didn't watch any of the football. It was like a football exclusion zone. I didn't want to hear the loving.
United's just watching a team
they're awful, aren't they?
Awful.
They really
I don't know
are
what's
shocking.
happened. Well, it's the manager what's happened.
Well, I mean, it's really... Well, no, it's the previous manager for leaving the dross that the other manager...
I'm not,
but I don't want to talk about Man United. No,
sorry, my
take
fault.
us off
My
air.
fault.
We're talking about Man United.
My
Can't
fault.
happen. Right, we've actually, thankfully, we're being saved by the bell, because it's time to go for a break, and we'll be back afterwards to talk about Fanny.
Give me a red card if you like, Jim.